The road to Backlash has many, many twists and turns, but tonight's build up from Friday night Smackdown was literally one of the best that we've seen. We'll talk about it, but first we got to hit you with that intro.
All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello, my singles and tag team competitors, everybody. It's your boy Mike Jones. It's your boy Virgil back here with another episode of the Friday night Smackdown Lowdown, Hoedown, Throwdown, Mowdown, Toedown, Woedown, Hoedown, Lowdown, Rowdown. That's right. It is your Friday night recap show for SmackDown. And yes, I am standing in the place of the freakiest one, your normal host, Fritos, who is having technical difficulties with his computer. So I'm stepping in for him, handling tonight's duties for you. So with that being said, appreciate each and every last one of you. Please make sure that you subscribe to the network. We are steadily growing, bringing you constant wrestling recaps, as well as our Sunday night variety show where we talk all different types of wrestling topics and just break down all the love of the game along the way with a couple of laughs. So we appreciate each and every last one of you that have tuned in and that is tuning in and subscribing to the network. Now, that being said, that's right, guys. We have a Friday night special SmackDown. That's right. And we're on our way to Backlash, which is next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, not as in tomorrow, but there's still one more SmackDown, one more Raw before Backlash. And listen, guys, Backlash is proving to heat up, and it's going to be a lot of great matches. We got some of those good match setups right here this week. So first and foremost, the show opens up with Damian Priest getting into a scuffle with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in the back. And it's crazy because right as he's getting into the scuffle with them, LA Knight walks right past him like he doesn't even see him. And he heads to the ring where he gives a fiery promo because LA Knight is hell-bent on getting back his United States Championship. But he's pissed because last week, the Archer of Infamy cost him his opportunity to earn that shot to go against Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship at Backlash. No, that match was won by one Drew McIntyre. They did so. The Archer of Infamy comes out after this and said that he had to get his revenge against Drew last week, so that's why he got involved. And then of course LA Knight, not taking that, not accepting that, still blamed him for him not being able to fight for the United States Championship next week at Backlash. As the promo battle went on, things started to get a little tense. Damian Priest tells LA Knight that he needs to get his head out of his ass. And he would have retained this title at WrestleMania had it not been up there. LA Knight tells him, you ain't got to worry about where my head's at, but I can tell you where my foot's going to go if you keep talking like this. Love this back and forth promo between these two. And then you know what? It ended up with LA Knight saying, you know what? Or I'm sorry, Damian Priest saying, you know what? We don't have to wait until the end of the night or until the match is scheduled now. I'm ready. You're ready. Why don't we go ahead and do this match right now? And all you see next is a ref pan over to the ramp, and a referee is running down, getting ready to get into the ring. So therefore, we are getting ready to have this match between these two. This bout between these two felt really old school. Like I said, a bunch of back and forth between them. And again, it just followed a pattern. But like I said, at the end of the day, it was still a good match. The match was interfered by Solo Sikoa and caused a DQ at the end of the match. And then Knight and Priest worked together to take him out. Fatu showed up to even the odds, and he also took out his rivals. Fatu looked strong at the end. So yeah, Solo caused disqualification. Solo also looks very weak these days. I don't know. I know this is all a setup for Solo Sikoa to eventually cost Jacob Fatu the United States Championship, but at the same time, like I said, it just I don't know. Solo Sikoa since he took over as the leader of the Bloodline, he just not as looked as strong as he did when he was the killer before Jacob Fatu came around. So yeah, after that match, like I said, after that match we go next to Pretty Deadly versus Fraxium. So Elden Prince and Kit Wilson were in action this week on SmackDowns against Fraxium. The High Flyers had the upper hand at first, but Wilson and Prince eventually found a way to use their size advantage to take control. Both of these teams rely heavily on double team offense, so we got to see a lot of 2-on-1 spots throughout the whole match. Pretty Deadly had a good showing, but this match was all about making Fraxium look good, and it accomplished its goal. Frazier hit a Phoenix Splash to hit the pin for his team to cap off a fun and fast-paced match. Um, it sounded like the new announcer said Ethan instead of Elton. This new announcer is still trying to figure his way out. But like I said, I like Fraxium. I like what they bring to the table. I like how they wrestle. I like what they offer as a team, and I just think that it's great to have them on the main roster. And that SmackDown tag team division is stacked. Raw is lacking, but SmackDown's tag team division is stacked, of course, with the Street Profits being numero uno. Next out, Nia Jax came out to give a promo that ripped into Tiffany Stratton, who came out to interrupt her right away. And then it didn't take long after that for Naomi to come out and stake her claim to a title shot. And then, of course, that brought out Jade Cargill. And this immediately started a brawl. And it set up a tag team match for later in the show. Shout out to Nick Aldis, who gave a Teddy Long wink when he set up a tag team match player between these gals for later on that night. But before we get to that, up next was Aleister Black's first match since returning to WWE. Um, and he not only did he have to fight the Miz, but he also had to fight Carmelo Hayes, who was on the outside. The match almost started out with Black ending it with a spinning kick, but the Miz ducked it. He tried to use a cheap trick, but the A-lister got into a couple of hits, and then the Dutch Destroyer began to get more aggressive. This match really wasn't a lot of back and forth. You saw a lot of Aleister Black getting his stuff off. Um, a lot of people thought that this is going to be an easy win, but it was refreshing to have some back and forth between them and show a competitive fight. Although Miz did try to go for the Miz kicks, and Black no sold those Miz kicks and then started laughing at that man and then grabbed him. And I thought that was one of the highlight spots of the match. Hilarious moment because those Miz kicks do not look like Daniel Bryan's yes kicks at all. Um, the match ended with a Black mask after surviving distraction from Hayes, and he got the win. Black defeated the Miz, and then he sat down in the middle of the ring, cross leg. It was great. It was perfect. Um, and like I said, and then Carmelo Hayes' chain was in the middle of the ring, and you saw Black try, and you saw Carmelo Hayes have to like slide into the ring to grab his chain. I think a match between Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes is going to kill. It's going to be great, great, great. So we move on from there to Aleister Black's wife, Zelina Vega, who just won the United States title last week. Um, being back in action this week, but not against Chelsea Green, but against Piper Niven. Chelsea Green and Alba Fire were at the ringside to support Niven. And Niven tried to use a power advantage. And she did control a lot of this match. There were little spurts of offense that Vega would get from time to time, but then basically she would get worked back over again by Piper Niven. Eventually, Piper Niven, Chelsea Green got on top of the ropes or whatnot, tried to distract Zelina Vega, and then Piper Niven tried to bum rush her from behind, but Vega moved out the way. Piper hit Chelsea, knocked her off the ring apron, and then of course she rolled her up for a schoolboy pin, and the 1, 2, 3. So, like I said, it's great. I don't know if you guys have been following Chelsea Green on Instagram and on X, but she has been literally been mourning the fact that she feels like she's been impeached as your women's United States champion. She's doing so much good work right now between television and between X and all the other different social medias. Um, Next, after that, we have Randy Orton came out and he talked to the crowd about his feud with John Cena. He ran it for a long time about what a fake Cena is and promised not to let Cena retire with the title. Promo went uninterrupted, and the Viper said Cena is just the latest legend he needs to put down. It's going to be a good match, y'all, between them two. I do suspect John Cena is going to end up winning. The next match after that is Rey Fenix taking on Santos Escobar, who has been on the sidelines for a long time, serving as the manager of Los Garzas. Escobar had approached Phoenix early in the show, and they ended up having a disagreement that led to this match. Excuse me, good people. I've been trying to hold that in for the longest. These two men know each other very well, and you could tell that there's so much chemistry. Both of these men are luchadors, and so you know that this match was going to be fire. Like I said, it was at a lot of great spots, but the best spot, um, like I said, but the best spot was Phoenix scoring a win with the meteor from the top rope to end a fantastic performance. So this is the first of probably many matches between Phoenix and Escobar. Probably match of the night, I would say, if you ask me. Um, then next we go to the main event: Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi and Nia Jax. Like I said, it's a great tag team match. Not mad about it at all, and it also sets up the fact that more than one woman wants Tiffany Stratton's WWE Championship. We know Nia Jax wants her title back, that Tiffany beat her for. And then of course, Naomi wants a shot at the WWE Women's Championship. She has not held a women's world title since her first time that she left the company. So, and then of course, Jade Cargill is, I think, everybody's bet for sooner rather than later she will end up being the WWE Women's Champion. But this match played out as expected. The rivals fought a little harder when they were in the ring with each other than they did against the other opponents to make these feuds feel more personal, and it worked for most part. Again, this was a decent match all the way around, but it definitely fell short of being what it should have been in the main event. The big moment was when Jay powerbombed Jax for the win. Definitely closed it out on a high note right there. So Jaden and Stratton got the win, which is interesting because most times in these matches, the champion usually is the one that gets the win. So for them to book it that way and have Jade get the win, especially power bombing, showing her strength to power bombing Nia Jax, I thought that was a really cool moment. And it sets up the end of the match where the referee raises the hands of Jade and Tiffany, and then he goes to get Tiffany's championship, and Jade literally snatches the title away from the ref, pushes the ref, and then literally puts the title on her shoulder. And Tiffany's sitting there looking at her like, "Give me my belt, like that's my title." And she's like, give it to me. And like I said, so Jade obliges and gives it to her, but as she puts it into her hand, she doesn't let it go. And she says, "This is mine." And she gives her a look, and Tiffany, like I said, looks back at her, and like I said, it just sets up the fact that you can definitely tell that these two are going to end up fighting for that WWE Women's Championship. I think, I mean, you could do a one-on-one match with them at Backlash, but you also could set it up something for Money in the Bank, which is 5 weeks away. So yeah, Money in the Bank is not far away at all. So like I said, these pay-per-views are rolling out. Then at the Money in the Bank, there's Saturday night's main event, and then the next big pay-per-view isn't until SummerSlam in Jersey. So they're going to do a lot of build-up to that SummerSlam pay-per-view. So especially since it's the first two-night SummerSlam. So again, like I said, there's a lot going on, a lot to watch out for. But like I said, we're going to keep you up to date with everything that's going on right here on the We Book It Network. So we appreciate each and every last one of you that have tuned in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your wrestling friends that, hey, We Book It is the place to be, whether that's on Twitch, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on YouTube. We appreciate you guys so much. Thanks until next time. Keep those booking pistols sharp. Keep on booking.